Hey guys, welcome to Sabri Zone. In this video tutorial, we are going to discuss about navbars. I have created 3 types of navbars for you, and I have created a playlist of navbars using Tailwind CSS and Alpine.js. So in this video, we are going to create a simple navbar, and in the second video, we will create a ordered replacement navbar. This navbar have 3 major divs, and these divs replace their positions when we go to the mobile view. And in a fancy navbar, as you can see, this navbar have horizontal cut between them, and the links are separately generated in a second navbar. So this is a fancy navbar. But if we will go to the mobile view, let me reduce the width. You can see that the simple navbar has no links to be shown, and all links are inside a button. So if I will click on this button, you can see that links are visible in a mobile view. But in the order replacement navbar, the order of the second and third div is replaced with each other. If I will make the width to the medium breakpoint, you can see that the second div have been removed and the third div is visible with the mobile button. You can see here. If I will click on this button, you can see that our second div is available for us. So it is a order replacement navbar, and the fancy navbar is not much different than the second one. It is showing the same functionality. When I will click on this mobile button, you can see that our links are visible to us. But if we will go to the computer view, you can see that these links are separately generated in a different navbar. Okay, without wasting any time, let's create a simple navbar. As Laravel gives Alpine.js and Tailwind out of the box, so for this video I will create a simple Tailwind project to create a simple navbar. So you can skip this section, but if you want to create a Tailwind project, then you can follow these steps. So I will remove the previous folder, and we will go to the new folder, and I will type a name of Sabri zone. So my folder is created successfully. Let's open this folder inside my VS Code. So open folder, and we will go for desktop and go for Sabri zone and select folder. Okay, our folder is opened successfully. Now I will create a file here with the name of index.html. Okay, file is created successfully. Now we will add some HTML attributes or the initial structure of HTML, and I will remove the title and I will type here Sabri zone navbars. Okay, I think it's perfect. So if we will go to the browser, and I will go for Tailwind installation, I will prefer post CSS, so I will go for post CSS, and I will copy this first command. But before we run this command inside terminal, I need to make sure that I have installed Node.js. So Node.js, you can install Node.js from here. You can install the latest version. Latest version will be preferred. Okay, if we will go to the our project, I need to initiate my Node.js, so I will type here npm init, and I will use y flag, which will bypass many questions. These questions, versions, description and name, is being bypassed. Now I can use my command which I have copied from Tailwind official website. Now I need to add a white server. The white server will help me to automatically refresh my page, and changes will be displayed without pressing F5. So I will add the white server for this project. Okay, let it complete. Until that, we can go to the browser and we can copy second command. I am going to copy this second command, and as you can see, in a second step I need to create a post CSS file. But if I will use a p flag with this command, the post CSS file will be automatically created. So we will go to the our terminal once again and let it complete. Okay, great. You can see that our nodes module folder have been created. Package log JSON file is already created. So now we can run our command here, npx tailwind init with p flag. It will create a post CSS file as you can see here, and all these coding are already being generated. So if we will scroll down, you can see it is asking me in which file you want to make changes. So as I want to make changes inside all files, so I will replace here with the static means that all files generated inside this project will be implemented by Tailwind CSS. Now if we will scroll down, you can see it is asking me to create a style CSS file. So I am going to copy this and I will create a file with the name of style.css. Whatever name you want, you can create a file. Okay, if I will move down, it is asking me to run this command for the development purpose, but I will leave it as it is as I am using the white server, and I will copy these lines to check if my Tailwind CSS is working successfully or not. So if we will go to the our index.html, I need to add a link here. So this link will be about CSS. So in that file name will be style.css, and let's create that coding which I have copied from internet. And now we will go to the terminal and we will run here. Before we run any command here, we need to go to the our package.json file. Inside this file I need to write here a start command, start, and instead of this I will use a white server. Okay, great. And start s should be smaller because it will be a command. So we will write here npm run start and see what will happen. It will generate a link for me. Open it inside a terminal. Okay, great. Our Tailwind CSS is working successfully. Let's implement another class of bg green 200 to check Tailwind is working or not. Okay, great. Tailwind is working successfully. So it's time to create a navbar. You can see that it have a major div, and inside that major div there are two major divs. First one is about brand and logo, and second one is about links. So I need to create this major div and then these two divs first. Okay, great. So first of all I will create a div with the class. I will leave it empty and I will go to the browser first, and you can see that it have a container property and it has a flex property too. So we will type here a class of container, and we want a flex property too. As Tailwind uses mobile first approach, so in the mobile view it will be a flex column. So I will use a flex column property first, and then at the medium breakpoint I will tell that the flex should be, instead of column it should be a row. So flex row. Okay, great. And some other things which we can see is background color. So background color bg gray 200, I think it will be enough. And the other thing which we can see is the margin and padding. So I will add a padding, not margin. So padding on the x-axis will be 4 and padding on the y-axis will be 4. Okay, great. As you can see the gap between these two divs, so you have to use a justify between property here. So I will use a justify between property here. Okay, great. Now it's time to create this division. So I will go inside this div. So I will create another div, and this div will have a class, and let's suppose it will be a flex, and items center property. So items could be centralized, and another thing which we can add is the mx auto. Okay, great. mx auto is also created. So I will close this div. Inside this div what we have to create is a logo image and the brand name. So I need to copy a logo from my desktop. So I will go to my previous folder and I will copy a png logo, and I will close this. I will go to my original folder and I will place it here. Okay, great. So now we will go to our project once again, and we will type a image and a tab, and we will type logo and ask for suggestion. Okay, great. Logo is created successfully. Logo should have some height. Let me see how much height we need. Okay, it's much bigger. So I will add a class of age 12. Okay, let's see. Okay, great, it is looking great. And now it's time to add a anchor tag. So a with the href of hash, and close this, and we will type here Sabri zone Navbar. Okay, great. So it's time to add some classes. So we will add a class of underline first. I want it to be underline, and of course the text color text blue 900 will be enough, and another thing will be font medium. Okay, great. So let's check it inside browser. Okay, great, it looks great. And now it's time to add some margin on the right side. So left side, actually margin left side will be 2, and let's check inside browser. Now it looks great. So now it's time to add some other details, but before we do that, I will press F12 to see the width, to reduce the width in the mobile view. You can see in the mobile view it have a mobile button too inside it. So what we can do, we can add another division. So we will add a division outside of this div. So we will add a div with the class flex and justify between property. Okay, great. So now it's time to close this div, and we will make this div and here. Okay, great. So it's time to add a button. So to get this button, we will go for Navbar mobile button svg, and inside this first link, okay, it is opening it. So I will collect this mobile button, download as a svg. So download it. Okay, show in a folder and open in a VS Code. Okay, great. So open in restricted mode and copy. So it's time to add this svg, but we will add a button tag here, button, and this button will have some svg inside it. So we will make it simpler as we can. Okay, I think it's great now. Now if we will go to browser and see our project, you can see that svg is implemented successfully. But if we will go to the mobile view, you can see svg is placed at the place where we want it. So it is perfectly created. We need to add mx auto here. So this mx auto will make this navbar container centralized. So we will add here mx auto and see the magic. Okay, now it looks great, but at the medium breakpoint we don't want it to be visible. So we add a class inside this button. So there will be a class medium breakpoint. So at medium breakpoint I want it to be hidden. Okay, great. So what I have done, I need to add a quotes here. Okay, great. At medium breakpoint you can see the button is not visible, but if we will go to the mobile view, you can see the button is visible and working perfectly. So now it's time to create the links portion. So I am removing this tab and removing this tab too. So let's create a button tabs. So you can see that it have a div, but I think there are two divs. First div make it visible inside a computer and remove it inside a mobile view, and second div have the links. So I will create two types of divs here. So let's go down and let's make a links comment here, and if we will go down, we will create a div uh, div with the class, and this class will be md flex. At medium breakpoint it will be a flex, but in at the mobile view it will not gonna be visible. That is why I have created this div. Now it's time to create another div, div with the class. So this will be a flex, but in a mobile view it will be a flex call. So flex call, and but inside a medium breakpoint it will be a flex row. So I will add a flex row property here, flex row, and now whatever we want inside it. So items center property, items center property will be implemented here, and mx auto, of course. Okay, great. Now it's time to complete this div, and now we will add a anchor tag. So I am going to copy this anchor tag, and let me remove this underline, and at hover state I want to make its color changing. So hover text color, text blue, and it will be at least 600, and font medium is enough, and it instead of margin left I will use a margin right property, and let's see in the browser what is happening. Okay, great. Our navbar link is created successfully. If we will go to the smaller state, you can see that our navbar become a column, so it's working successfully. So instead of this I will add here a home link, and now I will duplicate this line multiple times, and this time it will be a contact us, and this will be for services. Okay, great. Let's see inside browser. It looks fantastic. If we will go to the computer view, when we move our cursor on this links, you can see that its colors is changing. So we will go to the mobile view and see if it is showing a column view or not. So it is showing a flex column property. So it's time to add some other links too. So I will copy this 3 times more, and first one will be about login, second one will be register, and the last one will be for visit as a guest. Okay, great. Instead of font medium I want to change the property here, so I will add here font bold property. Okay, now it looks great. So I will add a margin top property, empty of I think 2, but at a medium breakpoint the margin top will be 0. Okay, great. So now it will look fantastic. Okay, if we will go to our medium breakpoint it looks great, and if we will go to the mobile view it looks also great. So it's time to implement our Alpine.js. So let's go to the outer div, and we will type here x data is equal to is open colon, and initially it will be false. Okay, great. So now if we will go down to the button, we will add here add click property. Add click is equal to if the is open is equal to not is open. Okay, great. Now we will move down to the last and the final touch, and this will be about binding a class. So we will bind a class here. This class is equal to is open if this is open is show, then make it visible, or otherwise make it hidden. Okay, great. Now our Alpine.js is implemented successfully. It's time to add a Alpine.js link. So we will go to Alpine CDN and Alpine CDN. So we will go to installation and we will copy this link from here. Where is that link? This is. So I will copy this link and I will add this link inside this. Okay, great. So now if we will go to our project and we will minimize the width, it is not hiding. Okay, I made a mistake. It is about this false. I have written a false, so I will add a false, and now it's working successfully. So in the medium breakpoint you can see it is showing a navbar, and if we will scroll down to the mobile, if we will click on this mobile button, you can see that it is working successfully and all the links are working successfully. So this is how you can create a simple navbar. In the next video we will create a order replacement navbar. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe my channel.